Situation. Broncos linebacker Von Miller went to bat for Giants wideout Odell Beckham Jr. He said he believes Beckham should be the highest paid player in the league, even though he's not a quarterback. And despite a season-ending ankle fracture, Miller does not think that should deter the G-Man.
You know, Odell should be the highest paid player ever in the National Football League. He should be the highest paid player ever, regardless of position. That's just the type of player he is. Doesn't matter if it's quarterback, offensive line, receiver. It doesn't matter. The type of impact that he has on the globe, you know, is the type of viewers that he brings. Just him as a player, you know, that makes up for him not playing quarterback.
Look, we've all agreed, we've said this before, OBJ is a transcendent player, a guy who changes the game just by stepping on the field. Having said that, should he be the highest paid player in the league?
Well, I wonder what type of friends they are. Because, I mean, that's a ringing endorsement right there. And players will stick together. Players will stick together. I mean, he deserves this, he deserves that, because the higher each player gets, the higher salary each player gets, they keep going up and up and up. So this is a good talk for a player to really back maybe one of his friends that he knows that you've met in the offseason. It's like, yes, he deserves this much, but come on. We know who usually the highest players in the league are going to be, and it's going to be the ones with the ball in their hands every single play, Coach.
It's the guy that plays with the ball, and that's tough, and that's just the way it works now. Can he be one of the highest paid players in the league? Absolutely. But with that comes, obviously, expectations. You know, when you're the highest paid player on any team, the expectations are lofty. There's a certain way you have to go about doing your business, whether you like it or not. And the organization is going to expect that when they pay that kind of money. Is he worthy of it? His talent says he is. First of all, he's got to stay on the field. He gets hurt. I'm not saying he's always hurt. He's missed this season all of a sudden. Next year he comes back, okay? All that is part of this. As much as we want to talk about Eli Manning, you say, Eli Manning, what do you say? Won 2 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. Won 2 Super Bowls. Won 2 Super Bowls. That's what Eli's done, right?
I don't know if we've ever had a wide receiver, ever. Even Jerry Rice, that was the highest paid player in the league at that time.
The highest player. We're not talking about one of the.
It never happened.
It won't happen. Maybe you make the most endorsements. Maybe the highest paid guy making endorsements. But as far as playing the position, wide receiver, very difficult.
Beckham is due $1.8 million in cash this season. That only ranks 63rd among wide receivers.
So he will
get a raise.
Yes.
Now, whether it's enough to make him the highest paid player in the league, that's doubtful. But listen, it's good to have Von Miller in your corner.
Sure. They traveled in Europe together this summer.
Oh, let's see. They went. They go backpacking. Stayed in hostels.
Von Miller, rightly so, is one of the most dominant players in the game of football. We know that.
Without question, he too a transcendent player.
Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, I've said before, he's one of the most explosive athletes, period, on the planet.
No doubt.
Mean, he can do things that many cannot do. I mean, love watching him play. I mean, unfortunately, there's the injury. Maybe if he had some momentum, a great explosive year this year again, maybe in the offseason, maybe it was possible. But in those quarterbacks, because whoever's next in line is usually the one that's going to be the highest paid.
And you mentioned it. The quarterback plays with the ball. He affects everybody.
Every play.
If you don't have a quarterback to throw you the ball as a wide receiver, you can't flourish. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the problem. You play with a bad quarterback and you're a great receiver, guess what? Your numbers are never as good as they're going to be. And now, all that has something to do with it.
And now, of course, he'll have to weigh that injury. It will be discussed. It will be factored. He'll be back, but out for the
remainder of the season. We wanted to come back, too. We missed the guy.
The game wants him back.
Yes, fantastic
no question
player.
About that. Speaking of our quarterback spotlight, and who better than Steve Young? So we'll put him on the hot seat. And Steve, let's start with a quarterback this week that has a favorable matchup.
Well, I like Deshaun Watson. Houston, he's got Cleveland. I don't like playing winless teams, by the way. They're super dangerous. 1-8, 1-5, 1-7 teams are not as dangerous as the 0-8 team. I don't know why that is. But I like the matchup because Deshaun Watson is going to have to elevate the offense with the losses of J.J. Watt. You know that they're going to rally. That team, that city is going to rally this year in totality. So I think the Texans, and I like this matchup with Deshaun Watson against the Cleveland Browns.
So each week is different, and we know that. So a quarterback this week who you see could struggle given their potential matchup.
Do you really like the Miami Dolphins and Jay Cutler going anywhere right now, but specifically to Atlanta? When Atlanta, I mean, being self-aware that they got embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills, that wasn't, the Bills are tough, but I mean, they think they're the best team in the league, and Vic Beasley's back. That's a matchup that's not meant for success for Jay Cutler.
Well, I think I know the answer, because you said until proven otherwise, you were sticking with one name, but a quarterback you want regardless of matchup.
Well, I tell you what, I thought that was Tom Brady, but now I'm going to have to go with Alex Smith.
Wow.
I mean, Alex Smith, with all, between Aaron Rodgers, Alex Smith, and Tom, I mean, it's like, well, we're going to just go a little ring around the rosy. But the truth is, I think Alex Smith is MVP right now. He's doing a spectacular job extending the game. He's managed his way to dominance. And so as people are like, oh, he's a game manager, forget that. Wipe out that history. This guy is totally in control of his play right now.
Listen, that may have been the case at one point, but that is an unfair moniker at this point. He's done a lot more than manage games.
I refuse to hear it again. Do not speak those two words together.
We're done. All right, how about this? A quarterback who could potentially have a breakout week.
Well, I like Trevor Siemian, coached well. I think that you've seen him extend his. One of the problems with Trevor is that it was the line of scrimmage, the 20 yards was about where he worked. Anything deeper, he couldn't get into. And I think Bill Musgrave's helped him get back into that, stretching the defense and getting some air in. Now he gets the Giants coming across the country into Mile High. I think that's a breakout moment for Trevor Siemian.
All right, Steve, we'll be back with you again. Right now, though, we turn to Adam Schefter. Adam, a quarterback storyline to watch.
It's the same storyline we've been watching all season long, Wendy. The Minnesota Vikings and their quarterback situation. Sam Bradford is not going to play this week. It looks like Case Keenum is going to be the starter once again as the Vikings try to beat their division rival, Green Bay Packers. The MRI on Tuesday showed no new damage to Sam Bradford's knee, but if he missed 3 games before, we'd have to think that he'd be in at least a similar range right now, which means Case Keenum starts on Sunday against the Packers, and it'll be up to him to try to keep alive the Vikings' playoff hopes.
Shefty, thank you. Perfect timing for Matthew Berry, who's here now with a little quarterback love-hate. And let's start on the bright side. A signal caller you love this week.
Yeah, it's Kirk Cousins, off to a little bit of a slow start this season, but off the bye at home. And you know what? This is par for the course for him. 2015 QB 32 for weeks 1 and 2. 2016 QB 26, 2017 QB 25. But then weeks 3 on, in 2015 he was QB 8, 2016 QB 6, and QB 5 so far this year against the 49ers team that allows 299 passing yards a game over the last 3 to guys like Jared Goff, Carson Palmer, Jacoby Brissett. No disrespect to them, but I believe at home, Kirk Cousins has a big game here.
All right, what goes up must come down. So the flip side of that coin, a quarterback you think may struggle.
Yeah, and it's Carson Wentz. You talk about what comes up must come down. He was obviously amazing last year, and I'm a Carson Wentz believer for the season. Not crazy about him traveling on a short week to Carolina. Panthers, no joke. They faced Tyrod Taylor, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford over the last 4 weeks, and yet they have not allowed 21 points or more to an opposing quarterback this entire year. They're blitzing at the 5th highest rate in the NFL. Eagles without Lane Johnson. He's in the concussion protocol this week. Again, I don't love teams traveling on a short week. I think Carson Wentz struggles. He's outside my top 10 for week 6.
That short turnaround is really tough, I think, especially for younger players. Matthew Berry back. Some unworldly play so far by a very talented Jaguars defense. According to NFL Next Gen stats, Jacksonville has pressured on 36% of opposing quarterback dropbacks. That's the highest rate in the league, and that pressure has led to quite a lot. 20 sacks, 10 interceptions, and 4 defensive touchdowns, all of which also lead the league. They're the first team with those marks in their first 5 games since the 1984 Seattle Seahawks. And joining us now, Jaguars defensive end Calais Campbell. Calais, the Jags in first place in the AFC South after 5 games. When you signed with Jacksonville during the offseason, did you see this coming?
Yeah, I did. I saw the potential, a lot of talent, and if we could put it together like we have been, I knew we could be special.
Well, watch this clip from Uninterrupted the Process. It takes us through the moment you chose to sign with Jacksonville.
I told myself I wasn't giving no discounts because they wouldn't give me a discount. And that's just the way it goes. And I love Denver, but I think Jacksonville got some good things going. I think I'm going to enjoy my time there. And so I'm riding with it. I'm going for it. This is a tough decision, though, because they want me to make it right now.
All right, buddy, tell me where you're going.
Oh, man.
What I'm worried about is we're going to lose somebody here. I don't want to lose Jacksonville, and I don't want
Man, let's go with Jacksonville. Let's go with Jacksonville.
You sure?
Let's go with Jacksonville.
Let's
go with Jacksonville.
Well, take us through that decision, Calais.
Talk about emotional. It was very, very intense. Everything had to be done so quick. But I felt like there was no bad choice, and I'm really liking the decision I made.
Well, you talked about your teammates in that clip, and one area where we know communication has become important is this national anthem controversy, whether you stand, whether you kneel, what decisions teams make. What kind of conversations have you had with your teammates about that?
Well, we really want to make a difference. We feel like as being a black athlete, you have a platform, you have a voice, but at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is just affecting change, in a positive manner. And I know that taking a knee kind of, rub people the wrong way. And so we're trying to figure out a different method, another way we can try to affect change in a positive manner and make bring everybody together. It's all about unity.
Well, speaking of teammates, rookie running back Leonard Fournette, second in the league in rushing yards. When did you know Fournette was going to be something special?
Oh, it didn't take long. Early on, as soon as we drafted him, you could see him just walking around in the locker room and his personality and then the way he practiced, okay, this guy has a little something.
Well, listen, there was a play last week, and I know you probably saw it or have since seen it, where Fournette waved his arm at Steelers safety Mike Mitchell as if to say, come on, let's speed up for the collision. What did you think when you saw that?
I was very impressed. He's a guy who doesn't shy away from contact. That was impressive. I was right there on the sideline looking right at it, and I was like, wow, that's bold. And I think Fournette got the better of that. The guy got up all excited, but I think he just decided he didn't get ran over.
Well, let's go from a rookie to a second-year player in Jalen Ramsey. He's already tied last year's number of interceptions with 2. Now, you played with Patrick Peterson. Is Jalen already in that elite tier?
Yeah, I believe so. They're very similar. They're cut from the same cloth. They study from the same kind of way. They love the game, and he wants to be the best. And I think he's already there.
Speaking of hot starts, the Jags defense forced 5 interceptions last week against Ben Roethlisberger, 3rd in points allowed. You also lead the league in takeaways. Is yours the best defense in the NFL?
I think so. You look at the proof is in the pudding. When we do it right, we're tough to beat.
Well, after Sunday's game, the Jaguars' Twitter account sent out a tweet. They asked for suggestions of nicknames for this defense, and they got some pretty good results. We'll take a look at some of the top vote getters so far. We've got the Teal Curtain, Pick Filet, because you can't get open on Sundays, Kitty Claw Clampdown, I'm not sure about that, Saxonville. So first of all, before we show you what actually won, is there one that stands out to you that you like better than the others?
Well, being a D lineman, I'm all about Saxonville, because that's what we do.
All right, fair enough. That was my second choice. I love Chick-fil-A. So anyway, all right, let's the results, please. And I think that, I don't know if the voting's closed or if you can continue to vote, but over 15,000 votes. Saxonville is your big winner, Calais. So apparently you're a man of the people. You shared their view. Well, we appreciate you being with us this afternoon and wish you the best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.